Hey Jeff, yeah, no problem, man. Let me make sure. Can you guys hear and see what's going on here? Let's see. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna jump on right now and just kind of go over our BAC trade here and our SPY trade. So let's go ahead and go over both of those. So welcome back. It's actually been good for intraday trading. I got a couple longs that are getting hit, such as silver and so forth. It happens. It's just a trade. But let's talk about the good things, right? What makes us so successful on BAC? I mean, it's absolutely pretty incredible. So let's just take a little bit of time here. I'm going to jump into our live alerts here from brokerage. And one thing you could do is if you want to go back and just kind of back test what I'm good in and what I'm not in, the cool thing about the Discord feature is that you can come up here in the search window and you can type in, let's see, BAC. Let's see what comes up. And that's going to go there. Let me X out of that. And we're going to search in the live alerts room. We're going to take this XLF out and we're going to type in BAC. All right, so you're going to see our BAC trades from the start. And really, this is kind of a funny thing, but I'm going to order some t-shirts that say BAC this truck up, back this truck up. Because everybody knows in here, I probably have about an 85, 90% win rate here on BAC. Some of my biggest wins come from BAC. And when I don't win on them, they're pretty small. You can see that just kind of going back 160%, 80, 28, 157, 300%, and so forth. So I want to kind of give you some insight on, what I'm looking at, what made me get to the point where BAC became my stock, right? So let's just kind of talk about that really quick. So I'm going to come over here. I want to show you on a higher time frame. We're going to take this actually to the monthly time frame. All right, and this is over on the left. I'll try to make this screen a little bit bigger for you. Okay, and we got the ES that we're monitoring over here. So just bear with me. And we're actually going to do a workshop that we'll be pushing out here shortly. Our marketing team will get on that here soon. Um, but I'm not gonna go into deep details here on Fibonacci's because that is what my class is going to be about. So I'll give you a little bit of insight. And basically what I did here from a Fibonacci standpoint is that we are measuring the pivot high into the pivot low. Okay. Now everybody knows the golden fib, right? Does everybody know what the golden fib is? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But basically, this is the Fibonacci level here. Once we break this 618, all right, the probabilities of the move higher, and I'll give you those details when we do the workshop, come in about 85% that you're going to hit certain levels above, and I will teach you that in the future. So we passed the 618, which is a really big deal, folks. If you look at this pivot high, this came back in around the 06 time frame right here. All right, it found a low. It started to make higher lows. Okay, that's always on a monthly standpoint. This is very bullish. And now we finally, okay, I want you to notice something. We finally started making higher highs just now, pretty much just now over the 618. This is really bullish for BAC. All right. Now, we passed the 618. What that means to me is that we've broken the downtrend and now we are creating a base above the 618 and we're looking for that move into levels that I have found, which are 37.39, 39.49, and then 42.56. Now, one thing that you really want to look for is when you pass a Fibonacci level, is that we actually come back to retest that. All right. And so you could see we pushed up over this. We came back to retest it, but unfortunately it could not hold. Let me go ahead and zoom in for you. All right. So this is where back in this day, and again, I can't see down here, but this is a monthly chart. We came back to retest it, and unfortunately, we broke down. This is pretty common after a first break of a major Fibonacci level after so many years, all right? But the second time that we broke it, we came back to test, and now we're above it. So the way that I look at this trade is that for long-term purposes, as long as the 618 is holding, this is super bullish to the upside into these targets that I've identified. Okay. Again, 37.39, 39.49, and 42.56. Now you'll see here that I actually closed the trade, okay, on BAC for 66.67%. And it was up a tad bit more than that a little bit earlier. I gave it a little bit of room. We are on Wednesday, and so this is a weekly expiration. And so what's really nice about BAC is their options are really inexpensive. And I was telling the room this morning that um, I I don't believe it's going to take much longer for these things to start increasing in premium. So the good days of trading BAC may be over soon. So to me, I look at it as an opportunity to seize because I mean, look what's happening, right? It's pretty straightforward. This thing is bullish, and the prices are inexpensive. They're mispriced, in my opinion. Those who are selling the calls out there don't understand that the probabilities are in my favor, okay, in your favor. So again, picking these up and they are cheaper. All right. Now, another thing I want you to notice is over here on the ES, I explained this morning. We took this short. This got up to about 200 and something percent. I ended up closing out, and you're going to see this up here. It's going to be right up here. Give me 1 second. Keep on, keep it on. Sorry about that. We're gonna find it somewhere in here. There we are. I got stopped out for 150%. So we made 150%. Now I am in calls, okay? And our members here can verify that we literally timed this perfectly. And I talked about this on the first video that we shot this morning live. I said look to go short on the SPY when we hit the line in the sand. Because remember, when price is moving up into resistance, this is the better place to put on a put because the put is losing premium. Uh, Traders are forgetting about it, because all of us, we tend to naturally shoot for the stars, right? And when we do that, you could see here that, you just kind of lose sight of it. I never lose sight, especially on a 0 DTE, okay? So again, as price moves up here and traders are thinking, hey, we're going to the moon, I'm thinking, hey, puts are cheap right now. Now, I don't do this on a daily, all right? I do this on the 0 DTE days, and I do this when we are trending down. So we're making lower highs and higher lows. So it's kind of a chop to down cycle. And so I want to take advantage of that, all right? On the call side, I executed here. This is called the Trendy Accelerator. And I know you can't see it here, but these are actually green arrows. All right, it's a very easy to read the green arrow, meaning I'm looking for price to move up. ES futures came into this level, and you can see that it pushed up very nicely. Now the bigger break is going to happen over the line in the sand. I think we can get a big push up towards 38.85, and then to settle the day at or around 38.90. Okay, all right. So again, SPY, very easy. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'll be happy to answer that for you. But again, just buying puts into resistance while we're making lower highs. And then I'm looking at buying calls at the trendy levels. All right. Now back over here to BAC. So what's my next move? What do I want to trade? Well, we're getting close to end of the week. And so anything that you're going to take into this week, understand that theta can hurt you, and that you can be wrong. One of the best ways to be successful at trading is actually to be able to accept your loss before you take it. And that's pretty easy to do. You have to find that number. I posted earlier this morning. It really does help traders big time, right? you're able to say to yourself, what is my number? If it's 1% of my account, say I'm holding $100,000 today, $1,000 is my number. I'm comfortable with losing 1,000. Then I say, cut that baby in half because most of you, you think you're comfortable. You think you're comfortable until things turn red and then you start to get depressed and you start to do crazy stuff like overtrade or you revenge trade. It just doesn't work for you, right? You know who you are. Everybody out there, we've all been there, done that. So cut that number in half. So now let's say $500, okay? So if I'm truly comfortable with $500, that means when I put that trade on using a good process with good levels, then I'm okay if I lose that 500 bucks, okay? That's just me. That way, I'm never trading out of fear. Now, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Being red on the day or not, making money for the week or something can be somewhat depressing, right? But I always want to gear you back towards the bigger picture. As I was telling my team this morning, go back and look at how much money we've made over the year. Okay, that's only been, again, 2 months. But if you've done really well, let's say that you made $10,000, $15,000 already this year, and February's really been hard and you're down 3,000. If you're depressed and you're mad about that, you're looking at it the wrong way. You're up 13,000, you're up 12,000. That's not bad. Okay, so don't beat yourself up. So what I want to do with BAC right here, all right? I'm thinking longer term. I'm thinking, hey, 34.89 holds, I'm looking for 42. It's important that we understand the ATR. Folks, right up here on these banners, not going to learn everything here, but everything is on my screen. I don't have to think. I don't have to use Fibonacci's. I don't have to wonder if we're holding a bullish channel. All of my scripts tell me on one picture. This is convenience at its finest. The monthly ATR comes in at around 429. Okay, so I don't want to be the guy who's trying to buy outside of an ATR. It just doesn't make sense. The probabilities are horrible. All right. Yes, sometimes we get a standard deviation that may be, or a two standard deviation that might be outside of that, but most of the time we don't. All right. And we're not here to gamble. We're here to trade real levels and real targets. All right. So the way I want to set up this trade is going to be under 340.89. So 34.89, sorry, is my void. Okay. Or my stop. All right. Now, saying that, there's different ways I can approach this. Okay. So if 34.89, let's do this in red. We're going to come down just a little bit. Let's call it 34.50. Okay, so I'm going to put 34.50 on here, and we're going to say stop. All right. Now, what if my allocation is typically 10 contracts? Let's say that I only buy 5 contracts. Okay, let's go back to green, and I'm going to text right here and say +5. Okay, just like that. This way, I am smaller than normal. Okay, and my fear is gone. It's erased. Let's also say that these 5 contracts falls into that $500 I just taught you about. Okay. All right. So as long as price is going to stay here, I'm okay. And even if it pulls back, I'm okay because I have accepted the $500. So if I go small on 5 contracts and price pulls back into this level, this is a key level for me. It comes around the 618. On a retest, I would expect this to reclaim, and then I would buy 5 more contracts. Okay. So again, going smaller in uncertainty after a big run up makes sense. And it allows me to feel free and able to trade this without getting too bent up. Okay. So again, right here, this is my whole setup. 34.50 is a stop. Now, how much money is that? Again, let's just go with 5 contracts and think out loud really quick what that means. And this is where delta is really important. Before I tell you this, disclaimer, none of this matters if for some reason you take a trade and overnight it drops $5. All right. Understand that. That's the thing about options. The risk is the full amount you're paying on this trade. It can go to zero. All right. So delta is really important. And when I'm looking at my options chain, I'm always looking at the delta. All right. Now, again, right now we're out of BAC, just so everybody understands. You can see my close right there. And I'm going to go ahead and detach this screen right here. And you can see on my option chain, I only use this delta. I look at the volume, right? Volume's not important to me when I'm trading. That might surprise some of you. I've never used it in my trading. This is more of just an interest thing. It's like, oh, wow, cool. There's a lot of, 37 and 38s going off. There's 4,000 on each one of these. Okay. And a lot of times you can actually pinpoint what type of strategies traders are trading. Like these two are very close to each other, correct? This could be someone buying a 36 and selling the 36 and a half. This down here could be someone selling the 37s and buying the 38s. One being a debit spread and the other being a credit spread. It's a lot of things that you can tell just by looking at the numbers here. Okay, very cool. All right, so when I'm looking at this, obviously I want more time, right? I need more time here. And so I'm thinking something out, I'm always taking into consideration earnings, dividends, and so forth. So let's just move this out of the way really quick and let's take a look over here and see where we are. All right, so we have earnings coming out 415. It's not too far out. All right, and we tend to pull back, probably about 4 weeks or so, 4 to 5 weeks into earnings, and then about 2 weeks before earnings, we tend to start to pick back up some speed. So if you can forecast, it's always fun to forecast. Okay. On a smaller time frame, we could see an inside week next week, and then perhaps, something like this, and then we come back into this area and then start to rip towards earnings. All right. These are things that I would teach you in the room. But if we want to forecast here, I'm looking for maybe 39 and a half. Okay. At tops, and then we kind of come in, digest, and then on earnings, you may see above 42 or you may see towards 35. That's my forecast for right now. All right. So again, let's go ahead and bring this over. I don't see anything. Let me go ahead and look at this dividend. This is on 3-4, so this is tomorrow. All right. All right, so coming down here, I may wait until tomorrow to take this trade, but moving on down, I'm going to maybe go right into the earnings. Okay. So again, 415. Let's look at this guy right here. And that put me around, what, 16 April? Okay, right here. And I want to look at the delta. So the delta here, basically the easiest way to look at this is whatever that delta is, for every dollar you are wrong or right, that's what you're going to lose, right? That's how you can look at that. Now, I don't want to go too far out of the money. As I said, I'm expecting 39 and a half. I would probably buy the 38. These are only $1.13 by $1.16. Again, pretty inexpensive, but there's a little implied volatility here at 36%. They understand that earnings is around this time frame. Okay. If you don't want this much time and you're looking for something a little bit less expensive, then we could come up here to the monthlies around 19 March. And again, looking pretty powerful. Could still see 39, but I'm going to come up a little bit, probably around the 38 or 37 and a halves. All right. Also, don't mind taking this at the 36 and a half just because, again, for me, for my personal preference, these are inexpensive to me for a dollar. All right. Some things that you could look at here and just take into consideration is the volume. Okay. I'm seeing a couple things that really stand out to me. This to me looks like a butterfly somewhere in here, right here. Okay. Could be this guy right here, buying these, selling these, and buying these. Nice little butterfly there. okay? But the sweet spot for me is going to fall between this 36 and 38, somewhere in here. So another option for anyone that likes debit spreads, you're buying these and you're selling the 38 and you're paying the difference between the $1.05 and the 48 cents. So about a half, okay, half a buck there. So not bad. All right. So we got that on BAC. Personally, I like at the money on these, the 55 deltas, but we'll see. Okay, we'll see. And again, the biggest thing here is again this 618. Our risk at this moment, if we just call this 34 and a half, and we're trading at 36 and a half, that's $2 of risk. All right, $2 of risk. So do your calculations, understand how much you can lose, and that's going to help you take that trade. We always should know how much we're going to lose into a trade before we take it. That's what a plan's all about. Okay? Entry, stop, target. Entry, stop, and target. All right. All right. Let's come over here. By the way, FTX looks like it's going green. Also have some trades in FTX. That's good. Like to see a little bit of a comeback today in the market. Makes me happy. Oh yeah, definitely get a nice little comeback here. And by the way, your SPY call is now positive. So not only did Trendy trade this perfectly on the downside into 150%, 200%, but we're also now green on our calls. So congratulations to you guys on that. All right, good job. All right, so I have a QQQ put debit spread on for um, just a little bit of protection in case this thing wants to show us an H pattern in the overall market. And that H pattern just kind of looks like this. It usually comes up to a key level, like the line in the sand, gets everybody excited, and then heads back down. All right, we'll see. Again, what I'm looking for on the upside here is potential into 389, 390, and that's what we bought on this dip down here, okay? All right, so other than BAC, I went over BAC, I went over SPY. I want to see if there's anything else that I want to cover before we jump off here. Do you guys in the room have anything that you want to go over really quick? Just let me know. Let's go over here. We're going to need a bigger truck. That's right, baby. All right. So, this week has not been easy for a lot of traders. I have quite a few positions on. I'm managing a lot. Um, and, overall, it's just one of those sideways weeks. Just let it digest, let it do its thing. We're going to do so much better when the market's trending. That's just how the market works, right? So don't beat yourself up if anyone out there is having a hard time. What do you think of GM to the ME? Let's go ahead and take a look here. Great question. GM, General Motors. See what this bad boy looks like. And I'm going to go ahead and clear this drawing set. All right, first of all, I want to look at it from the monthly. All right, one thing I will tell you, I'm a buyer if price ever comes back down to the trendy edge down here. So we have different time frame trendy edges. I'm going to create an alert just while we're here at or below, just in case price ever comes here. I'd be a buyer. Um, and then let's see, I want to look at the entire map, right? I want to see where we are in GM. Remember how I just kind of showed you this? We're going to pick the pivot high here into the pivot low right there. And you can see price is trying to get up towards the 618. Now you guys all know what this means. As we approach this area, I would expect some consolidation in this area. And just like BAC, folks, once we get above that 618, that's going to be a big deal. Typically, we pull back in though and digest, and then we break back through. So this looks really good. Now I'm going to take it to a smaller time frame and check out what you're talking about, so we can see those other trendy edges. Yeah, my timing. So I went ahead and recorded this for you guys as well because I know a lot of you guys are working at the moment. It's kind of early. Let's go ahead and come over here. All right, so it is an AC/DC setup. As far as the weeklies are concerned, for the last month and a half, it's consolidation between the chop zone, which is very normal between these two levels of 50 and 61.8. Yes, potential 56.18 is what you're looking at here, so maybe another $2 and some change. But again, consolidation. I kind of like this as an iron condor, selling the 56s and selling if it made sense, selling the bottom down here at around 50. I would expect price to just hang out in here again for a naked directional. Sure, you can see the move up towards 56.18. All right. Market is choppy though, so a lot of these things, the setups themselves and our levels are going to work. The issue is when you are in a chop cycle, it's about the timing, right? Timing is always the variable, but when you're choppy, it's a great combination for theta burn. And so what really irritating for traders is that your process worked, but your mind and your willingness to accept the time is gone. So most people get really impatient during chop cycles and they punch out. All right. And when they punch out, they just get, a lot of times they get burnt because things start to move in their way as soon as they start to give up. All right. So remember, just stick to your plan. All right. Whatever your plan is. All right. And if your stop gets stopped, you get stopped. If something happens to the upside and you hit your target, boom, trade's great. All right. So just remember that. Stick to the plan, enjoy your time, and all will work out. All right, let's take a look at JMIA. I know you had mentioned this a little bit earlier this morning. Shamar, let's go ahead and take a look, see what it's doing this morning. All right, it continues to fall here, and it's right here at the YE. So if you've been listening, kind of like on our TLT trade, what would you expect here around the YE? And we call that the yearly edge in case anybody's wondering. You expect it to take a long time. Okay, higher the time frame the edge is, the longer it's going to take for sentiment to come back in. All right. One thing I will tell you though, when you look at this, nice move from pivot low into pivot high. It's come back right into our edges and it's trying to find some support here. Now the support or the inception of the move comes in at or around this area here. You have a 22 EMA right there. On a flush low, that would be great. Looking for a move into there. So far on the week, I'd expect price to probably close up above 44 or 43 and a half. That would set you up really nicely here for an inside candle. So it look sort of like this. And then going into the next several weeks, you'd be waiting to see if we can get over this. And then you trade to the upside. Okay. All right, guys. So I'm going to take a break again, just kind of hang out. Again, it's choppy. Don't do anything silly. All right. You know we're going to be here. Most of you guys have been with me from day one. You know how this works. If you've been trading for quite some time, then you understand that this is just a cycle that we're in. Things always get better regardless. So we've done pretty well. Let's keep it that way. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'm going to take a break. It looks like the sun's coming out here in Florida. I'm going to go sit on my dock and see if I can catch a couple fish and just kind of relax. All right. Anyways, you guys have a great day. We'll see you soon.